The Business Buzz is proudly sponsored by Cayman Insurance Center, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services. And Kirk Market. Experience a world of choice.
And now, Radio Cayman presents The Business Buzz, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. This is where we address the business topics that matter. Radio Cayman's Business Buzz. Here's your host, Kathy Miller.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Business Buzz. I'm your host, Kathy Miller. It's a bright, beautiful Thursday morning out there. And again, just one of our last final weeks before that traffic gets a little hectic again for us in the morning. So I hope you're enjoying a beautiful, hopefully relaxing drive into work this morning. On the Business Buzz, in our first segment, I'm happy to welcome Mr. Robert Wood. He's the owner, president of Robert Wood Furniture and Interiors. Good morning, Mr. Wood. How are you doing today?
Well, good morning, Kathy, and good morning, Cayman.
It's very good to see you. I haven't seen you since, I think, Christmas, the holidays.
Hey, yeah, but you're still looking good.
But so, I'm trying. I came in here limping, but parts
limp.
of
we all got those days where we limping.
Oh yeah, trust me.
Whether they're physically or they're mentally, but
right, it's very true.
We keep them going.
Very
somehow,
very true.
Somehow
a lot of ice, a lot of icy hot, or what's the other thing that you?
No, the other one that I've been getting is called. Oh my God, I can't stand the smell of that song. It knocks me out.
Voltaren.
Not Voltaren, but there's another one, Valari or something. I think it's a derivative of...
Valerian, maybe? I don't know. I don't even know what it is. I'm just making up the word.
I don't know. The last time they just gave it to me for the pain. It works, but I can tell you it's...
The smell.
The smell, and it's pretty potent going on your skin.
Okay, well, something else I have to look forward to.
Yeah.
As my body decides to age without my mind. I don't know what's going on here.
Hey, don't worry about age. Age is only a number, darling.
That's what I say, right?
Yeah.
That's what I like to say. All right,
Once we can get up and go, I guess we're all good.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
There's a lot worse off sometimes than we are, We never know who that is.
That's true. We all have different battles that come and go. And as you know, I've been through them.
Yep.
I certainly have. Kicking, still doing your thing.
I certainly have. Still going through them, too.
Yeah. Perseverance, right? And resilience.
Perseverance, yes. Thank God.
Two big things you need in business to keep going as well, for sure.
That sure is a good background on it.
Yeah. So let's get into yours.
Yeah, well.
A long time you've been having your business on island here. And I personally know a little bit of your background story, but I want you to share that with our listeners as well. Because I think when I first met you, it was with Woods Furniture.
Correct.
Right. So I want you to go even further back from that, your education.
Really? Oh
yeah. Because it's pretty amazing. So I think it's a good story to share.
I don't know if I want to share all of that over the air, Kathy.
You should be proud of yourself.
But no, and I am. I mean, I started off in the early days when Cayman was just a nobody. The island time forgot. But grew up in the industry, my dad being a seaman and my mom a homemaker. I remember distinctly I was 9 years of age when Dad brought me out and moving around my first piece of furniture. And just sort of grew from there. I mean, and we contributed to business for us back then in the days when Dad was home and running it, grew, and I had to come out of school and assist him with deliveries in a station wagon.
Now, this is high school days?
As high school days. I was in my prep school days back then, too.
Okay.
Right behind the old library here in Georgetown.
Oh, wow.
And
I don't know those days, so I didn't know the prep school was there at that time.
Probably didn't know those days. So I might be saying that I'll, where I'm at, but it was good. It gave me a good background in what it is. I often tell people sometimes I grew up on the docks and in the hard knocks of it because my training was all there. I worked a lot back then with sales reps and stuff from the U.S. And I offloaded the furniture from the ship physically, loaded it on a truck, brought it back to the store, took it out when Kathy walked in and bought her dresser or her mattress or whatever it was that we sold back then.
Mm-hmm.
And at 17 years of age, when I got my driver's license, I was on my own for the deliveries and the installations. I remember setting up and kids at school laughing at me back then, but there's a condo, we call it condo, but it's a apartment dwelling across the road from what is now the John Gray. And that was where I really installed my first full furniture. It sits right next to the Toyota dealership.
Wow. I think I know the condos that you're talking about. Yeah.
And that for me was baptism, you know. We got a half-hour break for school for break in the morning, and we got our 45 minutes for lunch. And those times for me was spent across the street setting up furniture.
Oh, wow.
And
was that your choice, or was that you kind of felt you had to because it was
well,
a family obligation?
I guess my father kind of said, you know, you got to get out there and you got to do that. So that's what I had to do.
Okay.
But it was like that, and I enjoyed it. I have to look back on it. It was good for me. And
did you think at that age, so around 17, did you want to follow in the family footsteps of the furniture industry, or did you have your own dreams?
No, I didn't have. My friends, you know, primarily on the outside that I grew up around were, back then it wasn't a whole lot of them, because a lot of them, as they got out, the objective was to leave and go to sea. And I wanted to follow in those footsteps. So when we came out of school, my first job was to look to that. And I did not end up not going, because it's a funny story when I did go, but we'll come to that later. So I ended up in banking, first of all, CIBC, for a 3-week stint. That was about enough of that for me.
And you realize that is
much.
not the career path I want.
No.
I understand.
That definitely was not there. And so I had to move away from that. And then I opted to go, like I said, again, my best friend still to this day, he was instrumental in helping me get a job on board one of the ships. And we were leaving, when I was leaving to go, I'll never forget it, the aircraft broke down 3 times on we were leaving. There was 7 of us going.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I would be terrified. And so I hope that you never stepped on that aircraft, or at least for a while.
So after finally I decided at the airport after the 3rd attempt, I said, nope, I ain't going. Well, it was good that I didn't go, because a week later we got word from all the other guys that had gone that they had been placed in jail and basically in Dubai, in the Persian Gulf.
Oh, wow.
Because none of us had what was called a seaman's book at the time. So they were all shipped back home and had to take another trip again when they got back. So that kind of started off and ended my seagoing career. And
listen, Dubai jail back. Well, I
well,
don't think
back
I don't
then
think
it wasn't
Dubai.
like
I don't
today.
even know if Dubai
Like,
even existed,
it's
but whatever it
yeah,
was back
right.
then. But in the
Yeah.
UAE, back then,
their
jails were serious.
Serious.
Right now, they're serious.
Yes.
Never mind what it was like
Well,
back then as well.
Exactly.
Wow.
And so the idea was behind it then that I would come back, and I went to work in the business with Dad, you know,
Okay.
and me and Mom, and then you know, it just grew from there.
Okay.
In I'll have to go back, in 88, I think it was, 87 or 88, I went off to North Carolina to High Point College, where I did my management course and training on furniture. Because prior to that, my dad had been in a partnership with some folks from the U.S. who wanted to set up a furniture manufacturing business here on the island. which was the catalyst to everything else.
Did the factory ever happen?
No, it didn't.
Okay.
And so it just grew out of there, and I ended up just staying in the furniture business. That's where it was. That seemed to have been my bed, and continued through it to this day.
What did your studies involve? Because when you're like, I studied furniture, but what does that mean? Like,
Well, believe it or not, the furniture industry is very, like anything else, I guess, it bears it all. We had to do, how we would approach customers, how everything in doing that. We had to do the building, the construction of furniture. Quite honestly, I earned a name by going into the furniture markets after this into the later years. People, the reps in there would always say, well, when Robert comes in, we'll know whether this one will work or not. Because I was critical of the construction and stuff of what it was and how it was made and everything else. And today the machinery in the furniture industry has improved tremendously. You got these fancy machines, the CNC cutting machines and all of that. Back then it wasn't. Back in the 80s, they were just probably still in the evolving stage. And, so it just grew out of there and learning that. And I came back home here and then just kind of took full-fledged of the business from that. I did all this on my own, and I got involved then with, other aspects of the business because as it grew, I wanted to know what was happening.
When you say other aspects, what do you mean? Because there's an interior design aspect of your business, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And I think, got to go back and say when it was, but I had met a lady from the U.S. who was here on vacation, and she had looking at the store, and she had been down here twice, and she said, I want to go back to that store. Somehow I like what I'm seeing there or something, right? And she came in and introduced herself, and she and I hit it off together. And she actually catapulted the interior design side of it.
Okay.
She, just helped me along, and we worked together for 10 years, and we're still friends to this day.
Okay.
And taught me a lot. I taught her a lot because she didn't understand shipping, but she knew the other side, and so the two of us melted together.
Okay.
And she also got me into the window treatment business as a big thing because she was very, very keen on window treatments and such, and artwork and different things like that. And
did you yourself at that time, like you understood like the makings of furniture, the quality of it, what to look for in that sense of the
Yes.
construct, but when it came to the design aspect of it, did you have an eye for it, or was that really an interest for you that you wanted to just build on more?
I guess I had more of the eye. Mm-hmm. She brought the design
Gotcha.
capability from the standpoint, the color blending and all of that.
Okay.
And she kept pushing at me to add different things. And I remember, this one's funny, because when she said one day, Robert, we need artwork. I said, artwork? What the hell do we need artwork for? And she said, yeah, you let me have some artwork. I said, all right. Anyway, $500. She bought artwork. She came back 10 days later and said, Robert, I need more artwork. I said, we sold it? She said, yeah.
Okay.
So I upped it. And she sold that again.
So you could see it was it was in demand.
So I could see it was in demand. And we always say, the joke at it was that we never looked back after that.
Right.
Because it was just something that just kept moving.
Kept going, yeah.
And it was incredible because we ended up buying artwork then, well, back in then we could buy quite a number of it, volume-wise.
Right.
And we just couldn't get enough artwork. the places.
That's interesting that was one of the elements within the design aspect that helped catapult your business.
Right. But
we got to go to a commercial break right now, Mr. Wood. But when we come back, we hear the rest of the story, and then we're going to go into what your business is doing now, the services that you are offering now, what the kind of landscape and interior design is right now in Cayman.
Sure.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
The sister islands of Cayman Brac and Little Cayman have long held a sense of independence and self-reliance while still maintaining a close relationship with Grand Cayman. Cayman Brac is named for its breathtaking 140-foot bluff, and Little Cayman is known for its tranquil nature and is home to the largest colony of red-footed boobies. Notable historical developments for the sister islands include being the first of the Cayman Islands to be seen by the Europeans, developing their own economy in the 1800s based on the sea and hawksbill turtle, building the prototype catboat, active entrepreneurs on Grand Cayman through the 20th century, and a strong support for the British, with half of the men serving in the British cause during World War II, and ardent supporters of a British link during the discussion on independence in 1962.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way. Positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
I'm Michael Webster.
And I'm Denise Brown of Cayman Insurance Center.
Family is not the most important thing, it's everything.
We have worked with the community and their families on protecting themselves for the future.
Whether it's providing top-rated life insurance
or protecting your family's household investment.
From our family to yours, we understand and we care.
I'm Denise Brown. Call me at 814-7229.
And I'm Michael Webster at 925-5433.
We are Cayman Insurance Center,
specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services at an affordable rate. We are Michael and
Denise at Cayman Insurance Center.
Call today.
When it comes to weekly meal prep, I trust Kirk Market to provide the best value for quality proteins. The butchers at Kirk Market are super helpful. They always slice my steaks perfectly. Kirk Market has everything I need for healthy and flavorful protein-packed meals. From lean cuts of CAB choice beef, tender CAB prime beef, the juiciest pork, and all-natural hormone-free poultry, to their seafood section with everything from fresh local snapper to omega-3 rich salmon. I choose Kirk Market for the highest quality proteins to support my healthy lifestyle. Kirk Market. Eat well, live well, and discover a world of choice.
Parents, financial literacy is a major part of your children's future success. The credit union is pleased to partner with the Cayman Islands Monetary Authority and global financial consultant Marcia Armstrong to offer the first annual Financial Literacy Youth Summit Workshops run August 20th or August 21st at the Compass Vault. Topics and interactive games will cover money management, the importance of budgeting, saving habits, financial planning, anti-money laundering, and much more. The cost is $50 for credit union members and and $75 for non-credit union members, and includes complimentary lunch snacks and raffle prizes. Spaces are limited, so register your child today. For more details and to sign up, visit creditunion.ky or call 949-8415. That's 949-8415. Empower your child with the right financial skills they need for a secure future.
Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the People's Station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach.
The Business Buzz with your host, Kathy Miller. Business Buzz.
All right, welcome back to the Business Buzz. I'm your host, Kathy Miller. And in studio this morning, we have Robert Wood, owner and president of Robert Wood Furniture and Interiors. Right before the break, Mr. Wood was giving a bit of an origin story, and I think you left off with how much just artwork helped kind of propel your business and made you kind of realize that design aspect, how important it was. So we know the origins of your story, how your company kind of got formed, the different aspects that you went into. And I want to know now, what are the services that you do offer? Why do people come to Robert Wood?
Fast forwarding today and taking on the role of where it is today, it's now Robert Wood Furniture and Interiors, aka also Robert Wood Lighting and Interiors, because back in 99, with my life partner there, and we decided I asked her to come on board with me and formed the first lighting showroom on the island. And for us, we did that, and we were just starting the proverbial 5 years when Ivan hit and wiped us out. So we physically lost the showroom, and we lost our stock as we didn't have enough cover insurance-wise. And so we had to pick up the pieces and do what we could, and still doing that. And at the time where I was located, they didn't want me to go into furniture, but people knew my background in furniture. They knew what I did. They also knew what I did with bathroom design and remodeling, and in which today is a major part of the business for me, bathrooms and remodeling as well as kitchens. And I have, a lot of products to run behind that with and get into that. And I also now do, with the help, I've just employed a new designer on staff. And she is starting to get her feet on the ground and get introduced to the community here. And it's one of these things. Cayman is such a sometimes I find it hard to see, because a lot of people come in and say, well, oh my gosh, we didn't know that you were here. My location is right on the airport road. Mm-hmm. It's very accessible. You're coming out of the airport, you're going into the airport.
Yeah, it is.
You got to cross. And but today's world in Cayman has been changing, and everything is now done from grabbing this and looking.
Your phone, your mobile phone.
Yes.
How has it affected your business process?
I don't know how much really to say that it is really affecting from the phone standpoint, but yes, we are looking into that because we understand. And yesterday I was just in discussion with 2 members of my staff over this and the fact of going online and doing a service portal, because that's what's happening here now. Everybody's going their businesses, and there's so many different companies operated here on Cayman at this time, right? And primarily they all connected within the real estate business, which should not be, because the real estate industry is driving prices in Cayman.
Right. What do you mean
And
they shouldn't be connected with the real estate industry?
what I mean is by that is that Cayman has created a unique or a different. If you go to the U.S., for example, because that's our
Yeah.
That's our
That's our big neighbor, yeah.
That's our big neighbor. An architect is not involved in interior design work. He's not involved in selling the physical product to the end user, to the person that he's building for.
No, but the architect is very involved in the construction of the process.
He's
making
involved
sure
in
it's
the
going to go to the exact
right.
specs
That
and the look
is
that they
his
want.
core. That is his
Right.
core business. Right? Here in Cayman, that's not the way it is.
Okay.
The real estate people are wrapping their business into, when they sell you something, they're wrapping the whole thing into theirs, and they have their, and this is just the way we're seeing it.
Okay, so am I correct in saying that there's kind of like almost a certain network or relationships that are being almost monopolized? You never use that word. I'm using it.
Yeah.
In the sense of there might be a real estate company that's working with certain architects, and then they're just working with their certain contractors, and then
But
certain interior design kind of
But
companies.
a lot of this, besides because you can't put all the real estate people in this basket.
But
They're-
that seems like it would be a natural thing.
It
as
is
well.
a natural thing, and we should feed off of that. And so I don't want to just sit here and say something like that on a broad brush
Right.
statement, right? I want to know that there's things in there. But what you're having done is that the developers themselves, and I have had and heard a developer say that he's not buying anything in Cayman that he can't buy in China. These are the kind of things that happen. We talk about prices being driven up here. We ask ourselves, who is actually buying all of these condos that are being built?
Well, we know it's not local people. We know that it's
Right.
not Caymanians.
Yes.
That's a whole different business buzz topic that I
but
cover
we
often.
need to, yeah, and we need to look into this, because none of the products that are being bought, that are coming in for these things, is supplying it. So there's no inflow of money turning over in the economy locally on it.
So how are you trying to?
So
I
what
guess
we have to do is to try to
navigate through
be
that.
competitive. I mean, if somebody finds something on the internet that is $1,000, okay, I'll match it at $1,000,
Okay.
because I'm not afraid of the internet pricing,
Okay.
right? The internet pricing, you're going to pay what you're going to pay. You're going to pay it up front. You're going to pay all the handling charge. You're going to pay everything on that thing. You just don't see it on the front end.
Right.
But it's going to catch you
Yeah.
on the checkout end. You're
I'm-
going to sit there and you're going to wait without any knowledge of what's happening, and you don't know what you're going to get when it shows up on the other end.
When you're spending a lot of money on design for your home, on furnishings, I'm one of those people. I can't even buy clothes without trying them on. So I'm one of most of the stuff that I've ordered. Half of them has been, I can't send it back because sending it back is not it's not economically feasible in Cayman. There's no free returns in that sense, so you're just stuck with stuff that doesn't fit you. Never mind furniture, thousands of dollars in furniture when it comes to design.
I have had people come into the store and says, "Oh, I bought this sofa, but it's not the right one. Can you take it back or give me an exchange?"
Right.
I mean,
So there's
the
such an
audacity
advantage
of
to
that
have a
kind of thing,
store
right?
here that you can go and inside and see a showroom. And I remember when I was at your store last, which was around December, you were talking to me about different, showing me different rooms and how they were being built out to be different showrooms. Have you done that as yet?
We're still working.
Okay,
it's still
awesome.
a work in progress
Nice.
because this was, like I said, I've got a brand new staff in now, and everybody's just trying to settle in to their roles.
Now there's so many, not so many actually. There's not really that many different when it comes to interior design. There's not that many companies in Cayman that offer that service.
Oh no!
How do you think
there is a lot of
not so much, but how do you think you
It'd be
stand
more
out
than you
compared
think,
to other people, or how are you different?
Well,
Why would people come to
I
Rubberwood?
Well, I think people come to me because if they know my background, know my experience within the industry. I mean, I've just working with a client right now that bought a home here after, I think it was after Ivan or just before Ivan something. And he said, I don't want to change the furniture. I bought it from you guys. He said it's good furniture. It's lasted. I've gone into places on this island where I have placed the furniture all these many years back, and it's still like new, So
quality, if anything.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's what I thrive on with it, is the quality of the product, and being there. And
we got to wrap up, Mr. Wood. We're at the 8 a.m. news right now. We got to wrap up. I know. So I'm gonna give you 1 minute to leave any final thoughts, how people can get in touch with you.
Well, I'd just like people to know we're located on the Airport Road, in Roberts Drive, 25, unit number 2, C, building C, C2.
What's that plaza called? Is it the plaza that it's in?
Cayman Center.
Cayman Center, okay.
And our phone number is 949-7765. And you can always jump on our website. We have a new website.
You do?
Info at, can't remember it. Don't use it. Info at robertwoodky.com.
Right, we've got robertwoodky.com. Well, that will be your email, is info at robertwood, but the website is robertwoodky.com.
Right.
Definitely do check it out. It is new.
Yes, it is.
And as you said, you might have a different service product offering
still adding
on that
to
site.
It. But whatever it is within the home that you find that you need, whether it's an interior renovation, the spruce up of that bathroom that you've been looking at in the doldrums and getting it done, we'll do it. You want a new kitchen, we'll do it. You want a new countertop, a new floor.
You're there.
Absolutely, the lighting. We have a full line of lighting and carry all of that stuff. So,
all right. So come check out Robert Wood, Furniture and Interiors.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry it wasn't longer because there's a lot more we could go into.
We got to come back at this thing.
Yeah, you definitely have to. Well, I know you have a new thing coming that you can't talk about, so we're going to have to have you come on soon again.
Yes, there's an exciting new product coming for...
and we're going to hear about it. So before the holiday season starts.
All right.
I say we get you back on to discuss that.
Me.
All right, we're going to go to the slightly after 8 a.m. headline news, and then we'll be back with some of the Miss Universe Cayman contestants after the news.
Thank you, Kathy. And studio time now by Foster's is 2 minutes past 8.
All right, class, pay attention. School is back in session, and it's time to get back to school ready with Foster's.
Foster's is embracing the school spirit with all the essentials like backpacks, stationery, lunch kits, and more.
And online, treat yourself to our blog at livewell.fosters.ky to help kids navigate back-to-school anxiety and start the school year with confidence.
And any parents hoping to spend more time at home, there's always fresh delivery from Foster's Go.
Think you got all that? We'll test you on it later.
Get ready for a great fresh start with Foster's.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm April Cummings. Acting Justice Ben Tonner has completed his summation to the jury in the case of Rex v. Dwayne Robin Thompson, who is charged with robbing the International Diamond Center and possession of an illegal firearm. The judge highlighted the investigating officer's testimony about locating the suspect's vehicle, which showed signs of attempted arson. The officer questioned Mr. Thompson at the scene before his arrest. The defense claims that Mr. Thompson was running errands with his mother on the day of the robbery, listing various locations, including the swamp area of Georgetown. Discrepancies between the suspect's statements and his in-person testimony were noted. The jury will begin deliberation at 10 a.m. this morning in Court 1. Cayman Airways says the damage to the wingtip of an aircraft Wednesday was minor, and the plane is expected to be back in service today. The wingtip was clipped by a ground vehicle as KX-104 landed in Miami after an earlier weather diversion. The nonprofit group Sustainable Cayman says government's recent announcement of Route B3 as the, quote, environmentally optimal choice for the East-West Arterial project has raised significant concerns. In a statement this morning, the organization said it recognized the complexity of the decisions, but said the claim that Route B3 is the best environmental option feels incomplete and prompts critical questions about the decision-making process. The group also called for the decision to be added to the upcoming cruise port referendum, which Cabinet approved earlier this year. The search is on for a Cayman Islands CARICOM Youth Ambassador. CIDTV's Simon Boxall has the details.
An opportunity is now available for males aged 18 to 25 to apply for the position of Cayman Islands CARICOM Youth Ambassador for a 2-year period. Applications opened on Monday, 12th of August 2024 and will close on Saturday, the 31st of August 2024. The Department of Youth Services encourages all eligible candidates to apply as it aims to enhance youth participation and foster partnerships in both national and regional development. By participating in this program, ambassadors will build character while making a positive impact in the community. For more details or how to apply, visit the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Heritage webpage on www.gov.ky to learn more.
Thank you, Simon. And the deadline has been extended for this year's Young Chef, Young Waiter, and Young Mixologist competition.
This is a wonderful initiative, attracting young Caymanians into the incredible world of hospitality. Hospitality is obviously a massive employer and sector in the Cayman Islands, and having homegrown talent is very, very important to me, and it's something I've been working on for a number of years.
Robert Walton, MBE, says this is the 3rd year for the competition, which will be held at the Ritz-Carlton Grand Cayman on September 3rd.
We want young chefs, young waiters and young mixologists to showcase their skills on what is a global platform for the extraordinary opportunity to fly out to Singapore this November and represent the Cayman Islands as one of the chefs, waiters and mixologists.
At the Singapore competition, the 3 winners will have the chance to win $15,000. The deadline to apply for the local competition is the 18th of August, and you can find out more at youngchefyoungwaiter.com. That is your local news at this hour. I'm April Cummings. Now to the BBC for stories making headlines around the world.
BBC News with Debbie Russ. The Hamas-run health ministry in Gaza says the number of Palestinians killed during Israel's military campaign has risen to more than 40,000. The ministry does not specify how many fighters are among those killed. A Russian court has sentenced a woman with dual US and Russian citizenship to 12 years in prison for treason. Ksenia Karelina was convicted for donating $50 to a pro-Ukraine charity shortly after President Putin ordered the full-scale invasion. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi has condemned violence against women after a night of protests across the country over the rape and murder of a young doctor in Kolkata. Mr. Modi demanded swift punishment for those who committed what he called monstrous acts against women. Student-led crowds in Bangladesh are patrolling part of the capital Dhaka to prevent any gathering of supporters of the ousted Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. Some suspected members of her Awami League have been beaten with bamboo canes. An Iranian military advisor in Syria is reported to have died of wounds suffered during an airstrike in the past few weeks. Both Israel and the US regularly carry out strikes against Iranian-linked militias who support Syria's President Bashar al-Assad. The biggest party in Thailand's coalition government has chosen the daughter of the billionaire former leader Thaksin Shinawatra to be Prime Minister. Paetongtarn Shinawat's nomination will be put to a vote on Friday. Prosecutors in South Africa have dropped the case against a group of 95 Libyan nationals arrested at a suspected military training camp. They'd been charged with violating immigration laws. The internet entrepreneur Kim.com is to be extradited from New Zealand to the United States. Authorities there say he made his fortune from digital piracy. He faces charges including copyright infringement and racketeering.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
The mission of the National Conservation Council and the Department of Environment has worked to protect and conserve the unique plants, animals, and habitats that make the Cayman Islands so special. Learn more at conservation.ky.
There can only be one. Get ready for the thrilling finale of the 2024 Siwa National Tour. The fourth and final race kicks off at 11:30 a.m. Sunday, August 25th at Colliers Public Beach in East End. Watch division leaders Nathan McLean, Joshua Watler, Brandon Elliott, and Rennie Ortega battle to claim their season championship. There can only be one leader of the pack. The 2024 Siwa Tour is sponsored by Car City, Cayman Islands Coast Guard, Cayman Islands Fire Service, Pepsi, Fast Signs, J&M Equipment, Ministry of Youth, Sports and Heritage, Party Animals, Seabreeze Charters and Jet Ski Rentals, Verdant Isle Farms, Health City, Cayman Islands, National Logistics, Onshore IT, Ministry of Tourism and Ports, Radio Cayman, and Breeze FM. The 2024 Siwa Final, 11:30 a.m. Sunday, August 25th at Colliers Public Beach in East End. Champions are founded upon the seas.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Britcay, where people come first.
That's a good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Current temperature is 87 degrees. Relative humidity is 78%. The barometric pressure is 29.89 inches and rising. The wind is northeast at 7 knots. Overnight low temperature was 83. Synopsis indicate light to moderate easterly winds and seas will continue across the Cayman area for the next 24 hours due to a weak pressure gradient across the northwest Caribbean. Radar images show isolated showers in and around the Cayman area, moving southwest. The National Hurricane Center in Miami, Florida continues to issue advisories on Hurricane Ernesto. Further information can be found at www.nhc.noaa.gov. This storm poses no threat to the Cayman Islands. Now, the forecast for the Cayman Islands for today and tonight, calling for partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of showers. Temperatures will be in the low 90s today and will fall to the low 80s tonight. Your winds will be east to northeast at 5 to 10 knots for tonight and 10 to 50 knots for today. Seas will be slight with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet for today and for tonight 1 to 3 feet. We're presently at a high tide and the next low tide will be this afternoon at 12:24. High tide again tonight at 7:33. The sun will set this evening at 6:51 and will rise tomorrow morning at 7 minutes past 6. And the outlook is calling for similar weather conditions through Saturday evening.
We were on the edge of a breakthrough. I knew the substance was extraterrestrial, but I didn't realize.
Aunt Angie, what does this have to do with managing my insurance?
Well, long story long, the entire lab exploded. And the radioactive sludge went everywhere. I ended up in the hospital for a few weeks, but I was able to manage everything with the CG online portal.
The online portal. Safe, convenient, simple. CG Britcay. Good like that.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Britcay, where people come first.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Good morning once again. Let's take a look at traffic coming from the east on Shamrock Road and Rex Creighton Boulevard, flowing moderately, as well as on the lane for Pearson Highway. Steady traffic coming off of Bobby Thompson Way and also on Hulda Avenue. As we look to Crew Road, steady traffic, slight delays expected, but nothing to worry about too much. As we turn our eyes to the West Bay Road, flowing moderately in both directions, especially in front of the Ritz. Coming from the West Bay 4-way stoplight to moderate traffic flow. And coming off of the Esteli Tibbetts Highway, traffic is moderate. And traffic flowing at a good pace heading towards the Industrial Park area. On North Sound Road, traffic steady bit flowing. Into Georgetown on Shedden Road looking pretty good. And out of Georgetown on Shedden Road, things are moderate. And traffic is light to moderate on Owen Roberts Drive as well as Edward Street. Godfrey Nixon Way and Eastern Avenue flowing at a good pace in both directions. That's what's happening on your roads. Join us again at about 10 minutes past 12. We'll give you another look at traffic.
Summer's heating up, and so are the good times. Whether you are out on the water, enjoying the beach, or gathering with colleagues for an office bash, make it a feast to remember with Subway. From assorted sandwich platters to mouth-watering cookies, our catering menu has something for everyone. Perfect for groups of 5 or more. For food that's fresh, fast, and perfect for any occasion, choose Subway Catering. Visit subway.ky for catering options. Subway. Eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
89.9 Radio Cayman helps you to weather the storm during this hurricane season.
One of the most crucial elements of hurricane preparedness is storm awareness. During the season, it is of utmost importance to pay attention to the latest local weather forecast, as hurricanes do not suddenly form or strike. There are various methods of advanced notification. Utilizing such may be the difference between a favorable outcome and disaster. Both television and radio serve as excellent mediums with up-to-the-minute storm path information in the wake of a hurricane. Another method of tracking a hurricane may be only arm's length away. Your smartphone or tablet can be your most valuable tool before, during, and after a storm, providing countless numbers of apps with crucial hurricane information. Many apps allow you to track storms with moving radar and satellite imagery, plus offer alerts, current conditions, forecasts, advisories, and even video.
This hurricane preparedness tip was brought to you by your community radio station, Radio Cayman, 89.9 FM.
A dental checkup allows your dentist to identify any issues and maintain your oral health. Early treatment or prevention for problems is crucial, as untreated issues can become harder to manage later. Children should develop good oral health habits early to prevent tooth decay, which occurs when sugars from food and drinks interact with plaque bacteria, producing acid that causes cavities. Signs of tooth decay in children include yellow, brown, or black marks on their teeth and complaints of pain, especially when eating or drinking.
Biggest variety in the morning. Biggest variety.
RC Fusion.
Following the 10 a.m. news headline.
Brought to you by TCE Paint Shop, 27 Godfrey Nixon Way.
RC Fusion.
The Georgetown Farmers Market. It's time you start eating local. The market at the Cricket Grounds.
My Kinda Cleaners. Call or WhatsApp 326-3379 for your free quote today. Biggest variety in the morning. Radio Cayman. The Business Buzz with your host, Kathy Miller.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Business Buzz. We're in the second half of this morning's show, and I'm very excited to say that I have my contestants for the Miss Universe Cayman Islands pageant in studio with me this morning. Toot, toot, toot. Good morning, ladies.
Good
morning. All right. You hear that sounded beautiful. I feel like you've been together long enough. You're all in sync.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful kind of harmony right there. I want to be like, let's do it again. But, I might screw that one up. So we won't. All right, ladies, last time I had you in here, you were just getting ready to do the sashing. And I believe that happened, right? So we had sashing, we had motorcade. We have the pageant in just about 2 weeks. big event, big night is coming up for you. So I'm very excited. I know a whole lot's been going on. We're going to first introduce who I have in studio with me right now. And if you're watching on YouTube, I'm going to go from my left. So I don't know how you're watching, but from my left, I have Miss Regan Ruddy, who's contestant number 4. Good morning, Regan. Let us know who you're sponsored by.
Hello, everyone. I am proudly sponsored by Kirk Freeport, and I'm so excited to be here this morning.
I think you're always just excited to be sitting with me in the studio.
I know, it's just such an honor.
You know, we've grown in our
we've
new
become
friendship
besties.
here. We have. And next to Regan, we have Miss Erin Broderick, contestant number 1.
Hi, good morning, Cayman. I'm Erin, and I'm sponsored by Health City.
Good morning, Erin. And then right next to Erin, we do have a Miss Universe Cayman Islands committee member, Kimberly Connolly. Good morning, Kim. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
I'm fabulous.
I've not been in studio in a while, so it's very exciting for me.
And the first time with me, as far as I remember.
Yes.
My memory's not the best, but I'm going to go with this is our first time. All right, welcome. And can you tell us your role with Miss Universe Cayman Islands?
Well, I have a dual role, actually. So first and foremost, I am a part of the recruitment team for the committee, and that's been quite exciting this year. We started quite early, and it's because we wanted the opportunity to, have as much involvement as possible, not only from potential contestants, but the community as well. And then my second function is their public speaking coach. So my foundation, KAC Foundation, Kindness, Awareness, Compassion, has started this function of doing empowerment in the community in Cayman and Jamaica, where pageants are concerned, for the past 7 years, and 4 with the Miss Universe Cayman Islands platform. So it's been very exciting to see the transformation, because I would meet them at the beginning when they can't particularly put a sentence together. But we're at the stage now, as you said, with 2 weeks left, it's formulating quite well.
Okay, all right. I would say since I've known them or met them, I'm going to say, was it May? I think it was around May. All of them could definitely string sentences along together. They're a very, very intelligent group here, but thank you for letting us know what your role is. And then right beside Miss Kim, it is contestant number 6, Janae Rambaran, with my favorite name, I'm going to say as well. So,
good morning, Cayman. I am Janae Rambaran, your contestant number 7, and I'm proudly sponsored by LSG Designs. Happy to be with you all this morning.
And you got a new look, which I also love.
Yeah, versatility.
Yes.
I got to show my little versatility,
Yes, you're lucky. I can't do that. I would definitely have to get a wig if I'm going to have really, really curly hair, which I wouldn't mind doing. But man, would I love to be able to just flip a hairstyle and make it last. Jeez. Okay, right beside Janae, we have contestant number 6. Oh, did I call you contestant number 6? I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Oh, my bad. We have contestant number 6, Tracy Campbell.
Good morning, Cayman. I'm Tracy Campbell, your contestant number 6, hailing from the home of democracy, Bodden Town, and I am proudly sponsored by APS.
Oh, I like that, Tracy. Home of democracy. Okay, I'm liking it.
Stolen.
And then right beside, we have Tia McLaughlin. Good morning, Tia. How are you doing?
Good morning. I am well. How are you?
I'm excellent. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Tia McLaughlin, everyone, and I'm proudly sponsored by Sal's Beauty Center and Supply.
Okay. And just joining us in the studio, we have contestant number 3, Brianna Wilson.
Good morning. Hi, Cayman. Yes, this is Brianna Wilson, your contestant number 3 from Bodden Town, and I am elated to say that I am sponsored by Enterprise Cayman.
All right. Well, welcome to the studio. Welcome back, ladies.
Thank you.
Okay, now we know we have Miss Kim with us. This is our first time with me having Miss Kim in the studio. First time amongst all the contestants having you here. So you told us a little bit about what your roles are, right? You do speech coach and chaperone. But when it comes to kind of chaperoning, what does that all entail?
Well, to be quite honest, I am not active in that area.
Okay.
I'm primarily public speaking.
Okay.
But in terms of watching their journey, because I do watch them through the social media platforms, and I do enjoy to see them enjoying themselves, because a lot of times, we see this journey as one that is very challenging, but at the same time, we encourage them to have fun as well. Because when you go off, the winner goes off to Miss Universe, you are going to be interacting with different cultures and experiences. And when it would be a crying shame to come away empty in the sense that you have not interacted with them. So they do have a sisterhood, and that's something that I am really, really elated to see, because sometimes you don't really see that in the pageant platform. But I will say that these young ladies are definitely sisters. They look out for each other. So I know that they're going to have a difficult time voting for the Miss Cayman kind for sure.
I've seen a great camaraderie between all the ladies,
Definitely
in this year. So I love to see that. You all look like you're having a lot of fun. There's a lot of great support amongst one another. So I absolutely love to see that. You also mentioned, Kim, that you do a recruitment process. When you say recruitment process, is that for the committee, or is that in finding participants to join the Miss Cayman Islands
I would
pageant?
say a little bit of both, because the national director, Miss Derry, she would be looking for new persons on her team to say, let's take this to the next level. And that's what happened with me in the recruitment drive, because I felt that we were starting, I wouldn't say a little too late, but we were starting at a space where it wasn't given the contestants enough opportunity to be seen and known by the community. Because after all, you have People's Choice, which is now open for voting. We want to know who Cayman chooses, and hopefully it aligns with the judges. I know sometimes it doesn't, and then people are like, oh, well, we chose this one, but, someone else won. They're very subjective in the different areas, but definitely vote for your favorite contestant. It's going to be difficult. I don't vote because I would have to give them all one vote. So it just pushes them one vote further. But definitely vote for your contestant for People's Choice. But definitely we try to recruit on both sides. So bring in new minds and new ideas, which we've had quite a few from the committee standpoint this year. And definitely getting, the best caliber of young ladies and giving them an experience that is worthwhile.
Okay. Now, speech is a really big thing. As the ladies can tell you, I'm not sure if you listened last time, but the last time they were here, and I know there's no YouTube video, unfortunately, as Jeanne told me just now, but we had a bit of a question and answer segment that went around, and we're going to have that again this morning, ladies. Yeah, you have to get used to me now.
Yes. Well, they're
but it's
fresh
gonna be
out
fun.
of training last night, so they should be good.
No pressure.
There's none. You got this. I know you've been training, and I know a lot of people have, so you've got this. And you did very well on the last time you were here with me on radio. So I have full, I fully feel like you're going to get it done. It'll be fine. And you just came out of training. So the training, when it comes to speech training, what does that involve with you? What are you trying to go over with the ladies?
It's a lot. So in the beginning, we do... They're laughing.
It's rigorous.
So in the beginning, what I do is get to feel each personality, because I can't deal with like Brianna the way I deal with Reagan and so on, because they're very different. So that's what I do in the first 4 weeks. And then we move into, structure of answering sentence, the session speech, which is now behind us. And we're in a space where we're practicing for interview, final question. And it really boils down to bringing out the best in them individually. And as you know, a lot of other places don't have the same questions. But in Cayman for the final, we do have the same question. And that was to bring equality to the platform, especially where the judges, they're like, oh, that person had an easier question. But with them having the same question is like, okay, which answer best represented the question that was asked and most influential, I would say.
What do you think the judges are looking for in the answer? Is there a bit of humor, very serious? That's a hard thing.
It's a very hard thing. I know the first year I sat up front and my face does its own thing. So from that year, I actually started going backstage where they can't see me. So I don't know what they're looking for because I'm not looking.
Do not look at Kimberly's face if you were on that stage.
But I would definitely say they want to, depending on the type of question, I always tell the young ladies, whoever's asking the question, because we don't know until the night. Mm-hmm. Well, we never know who asks it, but we don't know the question until the night because it's sealed and given to the MCs. They are in the audience and they have a particular thing that they're curious about and they want that question answered. And for this year, we have 6 different opinions and that's what they're looking for. So I would say to be outside of the box, don't be too, expectation of how would this question be normally answered? Because then you'll have 6 of you answering the question the same. So I tell them, try to think outside of the box and be creative with your answer. So it just really depends on the question. We study for it to inspire, call of action, and then, emphasize something quite powerful. So we do different practices depending, just to prepare them for the question to come.
What's going to be what the topic matter might be, having them prepared for different scenarios.
Every single thing. Awesome. Last night it was a cornerstone of society.
Okay. Now, Tia, I want to ask you, because I think I said it last time you came for the interview with the rest of the contestants, but I've noticed from the first time to the couple of interviews to now, I see very much a growing sense in confidence in you. So when it comes to the speech training, what do you think you have learned the most, or has helped you grow the most from the speech training?
I fully believe that throughout this journey, I have listened to Miss Kim about just being myself, and no one can be me. So I think from there I've just grown confidence, and slowly but surely I think that I am just speaking out and showing people what I do have to say, because I do have a lot to say. I just limit myself a lot. Yes.
And figuring out a way to say it now.
Yes.
Yes. Very important. Very good. We got to go to our first commercial break, but when we come back, we're going to be speaking with all the rest of the contestants of the Miss Cayman Islands Universe competition.
When it comes to weekly meal prep, I trust Kirk Market to provide the best value for quality proteins. The butchers at Kirk Market are super helpful. They always slice my steaks perfectly. Kirk Market has everything I need for healthy and flavorful protein-packed meals. From lean cuts of CAB choice beef, tender CAB prime beef, the juiciest pork, and all-natural hormone-free poultry, to their seafood section with everything from fresh local snapper to omega-3 rich salmon. I choose Kirk Market for the highest quality proteins to support my healthy lifestyle. Kirk Market. Eat well, live well, and discover a world of choice.
Get your child ready for the new school year with Total Health in Grand Pavilion. Total Health's comprehensive back-to-school checkups include ENT, eye, and dental pediatric exams. Ensure your child's health with a complete health report card before school begins. Contact Total Health today at 333-2222 or visit totalhealth.ky to schedule your child's back-to-school checkup. Total Health, where wellness meets education, because every child deserves a healthy start.
We are now in the hurricane season, and to survive a hurricane, you need to be informed. If you have been informed by official sources that a hurricane is approaching the Cayman Islands, and you live in a low-lying area that is prone to flooding or near the beaches, which may be swept by high tides or storm waves, please seek a safe place and high ground. If the only way for you to get to a safe place is a road that is also likely to be flooded during a storm, please leave home early. Don't run the risk of being stranded. This has been a public service announcement from your community station, Radio Cayman.
The Business Buzz with your host, Kathy Miller.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz. I'm your host, Kathy Miller, and in the studio I have with me the very beautiful contestants for the Miss Universe Cayman Islands competition, and that competition is coming up in just a couple of weeks. August 31st is the big date, and I gotta say I'm very excited because this is a different level of competition that I've seen, and I'm very excited for what's going to happen this coming August 31st. So I hope people get their tickets. Get ready for it. Get your outfits. Start getting ready. Look good. Start your prep from now. These girls have been prepping for at least a couple of months. Maybe some of them even beforehand. Sometimes okay, I'm going to enter this year, and you just start prepping, just like the politics start politicking from now for next year's election, right? Kind of like that a little bit. All right, so I want to know a little bit more about how the speech training has been going for everybody. So Tracy, if you can let me know as well. I know you're not shy of a stage, so but being able to model is one thing, but being able to also talk is a whole other different skill, right? So how's the speech training been for you?
I think that's why I love beauty pageants, because you're being able to be gorgeous and glamorous and then show that you also have an opinion that should be heard. And public speaking training is going really well for me. So last year I didn't win, but that just motivated me to get even better, and that's what these public speaking sessions have been, just like stepping up my skills, my confidence, and slowing down when I talk so everyone can hear what I have to say. But it's been really helpful, and I've seen growth within myself and progress from the contestant I was last year. So I really appreciate the sessions for sure.
Excellent. I would definitely say so much of your personality comes out when you are speaking. So I love to see that. Some people, it can shut down.
Yeah.
They're not really sure, but your personality, you exude it so much when you do speak. So I can see how the training helps you with that as well.
Definitely.
And I know what they say about slow down when you're speaking. Because often I know OC is probably messaging right now, Kathy, speak more clear. I was like, yes, sir. We'll do so. I will slow down for you as well. So I've had that as well.
I'm definitely a Speedy Gonzalez when I'm like talking. So I'm like,
it depends on your audience as well, right? So it depends who
Definitely.
you're talking to, but that's going to be a diverse audience. So being able to address a diverse audience is very
Definitely.
important. All right, Janae, what did you learn? What's your favorite part so far?
I must say Miss Kim has shown me a lot of grace throughout this journey. I am my biggest critic, so I can be very hard on myself. But the underlying theme, not only for public speaking, but for the pageant as a whole, for me, has just been learning to trust myself. So I know what I want to say, and then I start thinking, oh, but maybe that won't be perceived that well, or we need to answer in this format. So it like my mind moves at 1,000,000 miles a minute. But just being intentional with what I want to say, and ultimately, like I said, just trusting myself. So I feel like that in itself has really helped me with how I feel about myself as a whole and how worthy I feel. So that will translate outside of the pageant. It'll help me in my career. It'll help me with my personal pursuits. So yeah, just that in itself has been very helpful for me.
Okay, all right. I think you're getting used to it as well because you've been on some different public stages in this past year where you have to make a few different speeches. So you're getting used to that role.
Definitely.
For sure. What about you, Erin? What is it about public speaking that has kind of helped you along this journey or that you helped learn about yourself?
I mean, I have learned so much. Public speaking with Miss Kim has been a journey, and I think we still have a little bit more work to do. We've got 2 weeks away. Similar to what Rhonda said, we kind of match up with having this what do we call it?
Doubtful Debbie.
And where we know what we want to say and we have really good thoughts. It's about how we deliver it and having that delivery with confidence. And it's also similar. I think that'll translate in all areas of our lives, right? We know what we want. It's just about having the confidence and clarity to really be able to express that in a way that people can pick up on and is really, really understood. So we're learning how to express ourselves in clearer ways and being more concise. So with that, we are learning a lot.
You said a really important thing.
Keep it concise.
You really did say an important thing because it is a life skill. So a lot of the time we may know what we want to say and we try to say it and the other person who's receiving that message could hear that little tremble in your voice still or that fear that might be there. So being able to just have that confidence and stand behind your words and what you're saying and being able to deliver it in a way that person says, hey, they are sure about themselves and what they're saying here. It's a lifelong skill. It's something that we will carry with us, and you're learning it now. Some people don't learn it till very, very, very later on in life. So it's a great skill to learn now. So you brought up a great point. What about yourself, Reagan? You've also been on world stages, so you have some public speaking experience as well, but what have you learned in this public speaking journey?
Yeah, I love the public speaking classes, and I'm not just saying that because Miss Kim's sitting right next to me, but I genuinely enjoy learning the techniques because, like Tracy, as a Caymanian, I love to speak really fast, and I could do it all day long, but it is important to take a breath and relax so that people can understand what you're saying, you can get your thoughts together before you speak, and like Erin and Rhonda have been saying, it's not just public speaking for a pageant. we're going to public speak all the time, whether it's we're giving speeches on stage or we're having a conversation with a stranger. These are all examples of public speaking. So I've been able to really enjoy and I'm like a sponge in the classes. I absorb everything, all the criticism, all the suggestions, because at the end of the day, we're not just trying to become better speakers for this pageant. We're going to try and be ambassadors for Cayman and for ourselves. So being able to speak our minds eloquently, educated, in an educated manner is really important.
Okay, excellent. Wonderful. And in different accents too.
Oh, yes, we could do very many accents, but not today.
I love it. It's very good. See, I met you finally with an accent. I love it, Reagan. I got you to do it. I shouldn't, but I got her to do it. We appreciate learning and honing different accents.
Diverse.
Very diverse. And Brianna, I know you're very expressive. Mm-hmm. You're a poet. Mm-hmm. So words, in my opinion, don't come to you. It's not hard to come to you in that sense. So I'm sure you're full of words that you can use out there. But in this training, how has the public speaking training helped propel you in this journey?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that I am confident in one-to-one conversation, but speaking on a stage is completely different. Speaking when you're in front of loads of people, and also when you only have 30 seconds or a minute to respond, and you want to respond with some key points, and it's all very calculated and quick, and it's a real skill. I think it's a real talent to hone in. So I've been finding it equally as challenging, learning the techniques, knowing how to perform your answer in a way that people are going to be inspired and hear you on that stage. So it's a totally different game.
Oh, excellent. I completely agree with you. Mm-hmm. Some people say just focus on one thing in the room. I say don't do that. It's important to make eye contact, but again, I'm not going to take away what your training might have been. But there's different techniques out there. So it is a whole different ballgame when it's a room full of people, hundreds or thousands. It's a different ballgame for sure. All right. Now, I don't know if you were here when I said I do have some questions to ask everybody individually again, so we're going to do that after the next break. But you had your sashing ceremony, so that was a bit of an experience where you did have to make a speech, right? So you had that time where you're addressing an audience, you're saying what you got to say, you're doing your kind of introductory speech as to who you are, your journey for Miss Cayman Islands Universe. I guess in that sense, how was that night? Tracy, I'm going to start with you. What was that night like for you?
That night was truly amazing for me because it was a whole journey. Like, my whole dedication for a sashing night was to really do better than the speech I gave last year, and boy did I do better. Awesome. And I'm so proud of myself because I put in the work, and it was just a culmination of my dedication and perseverance. So I was able to speak my truth, and I hope everyone was listening and took in what I had to say. And honestly, I'm just so proud of myself. And that was the mission, and it's accomplished.
Okay, excellent.
Thank you.
Brianna, I'm going to go to you because you said you have no problem one-on-one speaking, but that was a crowd of people that night. Mm-hmm. So what was that experience, the sashing night for you?
It was intimidating. I'll be transparent about that. I did prepare my speech, and I loved my speech, and I was very connected to it. It meant a lot to me. And obviously having your family in the crowd makes a bit different dynamic as well. But overall, I think it was just amazing practice for the night. And it was just really special to be able to announce formally my sponsor, Enterprise Cayman, and the relationship we're building. So yeah, it was just special. But it was intimidating.
All right. Now, I don't want to ask you all the same things, so I'm not going to be asking that question again here. The motorcade just happened as well last weekend, right? It was last weekend. It was during the Olympics.
2 weeks ago.
Yes.
August 3rd from it.
It was 2 weeks ago. Yeah. Wow. Okay. 2 weeks ago. I just know it was during the Olympics because there was Olympics going on. There was a motorcade, and I was like, okay, which one am I going to, how do I run to the front of the road that quick? And right? As an Olympian. Right, Reagan? What was your favorite part about that motorcade, Reagan?
Oh, my favorite part was definitely East End. You know, East Enders go big. We know how to celebrate little moments, big achievements. And as soon as we hit Frank Sound Road, I got a new burst of energy. I'm never speechless, but right now I am because I love my district. I love representing them. And it's not just the people, it's the culture of East End. And I'm so proud to call myself an East Ender. And once we hit East End and everyone was wearing the number 4 t-shirts and cheering me on, I didn't even know some of the people, but they were still celebrating me. And that was such an honor to know I'm not just representing myself. I'm not representing my district or my country, but I'm representing the people. And motorcade has not only been a highlight of this pageant journey, but one of the best days of my life.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Aaron, I'm going to ask you almost the same thing here. That was a bit of a taste of, okay, I'm waving at everybody going around all the different districts.
Yeah.
Did that give you an idea of this is a bit what it's going to be like if I do get that crown?
Oh, definitely. I mean, we drove across the entire island, which was amazing. But I think what was even more special was the aftermath of people saying, did you see me in my car? I was waving. I said, no. I mean, I was waving, and I want to say that I saw you, yes. But they see you, right? People are watching even when you don't think that they are watching. And we are ambassadors and leaders for people that, you know, may not be on the street side, may not be loud and front and center, but they are watching. We are leaders. And so those moments of people coming up to me and saying, I saw you in the bright orange Jeep, you were waving, it was so cool. It's like, yeah. It's like, yeah, that was me. So, I mean, that is just a testament to, I think, what this whole journey can be. You know, we're on stage or at the top of a Jeep or on a world, you know, platform. And we're just leaders, even for those that we are not seeing, you know, front and center on the road.
Okay, awesome. Shanae, I'm going to ask you a totally different question. There's been a whole lot going into pageant prep, right?
Yeah.
We've got a couple weeks left. What has been the most exciting part of pageant prep for you? What has been the hardest? And how do you think, or where do you think you've improved the most? It's a 3-part question.
Wow.
Most exciting, the hardest, and where have you improved?
The most exciting part so far, I would say, is being able to see the transformation from the beginning to where we are now. And I'm not just speaking about myself, I'm speaking about each contestant here. As we've mentioned before, we really do have a true sisterhood. So even hearing how the ladies come, they present themselves, it in turn inspires me to do better and to want to achieve the same goals. So that has been the most exciting part so far. The challenges vary from day to day. I must admit. Some days I'm really okay, and I won't say I'm great in public speaking, but I'll do fairly well. Some other days not so much. And then runway training. I used to be a tomboy, so the posture, keeping the shoulders back, the hips, all of that stuff, that definitely has been something that I've had to ingrain, but it also presents itself as excitement to me too, because that is also a transition. Could you remind me of the last part?
Where you've improved the most?
Where have I think just trusting myself, like I said, trusting myself with the walking, with the talking, how I show up, how I speak to myself, because that's very important. So overall, this journey has been very fruitful in nature. It's been very rigorous, but I am so excited to be able to actually see the fruits bearing from these trees that we've planted over the last few months, even before pageant night. So I can't wait to meet contestant number 7 that night and see what she has to offer. And yeah.
All right. I like that. We got to go to a commercial break, but when we come back, I'm going to have one question for each of the ladies to answer. So this is my, that pre-pageant night prep for you, answering a question like we did last time. And you have it. I know everybody's ready. I see shoulders going up, a little bit of nerves happening, but they've got it.
Good posture.
There you go. All right, Reagan. We got to go to a commercial break, and we'll be right back in our last segment with the contestants from the Miss Universe Cayman Islands.
I'm Michael Webster.
And I'm Denise Brown of Cayman Insurance Center.
Family is not the most important thing, it's everything.
We have worked with the community and their families on protecting themselves for the future.
Whether it's providing top-rated life insurance
or protecting your family's household investment.
From our family to yours, we understand and we care.
I'm Denise Brown. Call me at 814-7229.
And I'm Michael Webster at 925-5433.
We are Cayman Insurance Center.
Specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services at an affordable rate. We are Michael and
Denise
at Cayman Insurance Center. Call today.
When it comes to weekly meal prep, I trust Kirk Market to provide the best value for quality proteins. The butchers at Kirk Market are super helpful. They always slice my steaks perfectly. Kirk Market has everything I need for healthy and flavorful protein-packed meals. From lean cuts of CAB choice beef, tender CAB prime beef, the juiciest pork, and all-natural hormone-free poultry, to their seafood section with everything from fresh local snapper to omega-3 rich salmon. I choose Kirk Market for the highest quality proteins to support my healthy lifestyle. Kirk Market. Eat well, live well, and discover a world of choice.
The Ministry of Education and the Passport and Corporate Services Office remind all students traveling to and from school overseas to ensure their passports are valid for both travel and entry into their destination country. Passports should be renewed at least 10 weeks before departure, and any necessary student visas must be obtained. For passport services, contact the Passport and Corporate Services Office at 649-7678. For Ministry of Education scholarship inquiries, contact scholarships@gov.ky. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Education and the Passport and Corporate Services Office.
The Business Buzz with your host, Kathy Miller.
89.9 Radio Cayman helps you to weather the storm during this hurricane season.
One of the most crucial elements of hurricane preparedness is storm awareness. During the season, it is of utmost importance to pay attention to the latest local weather forecasts, as hurricanes do not suddenly form or strike. There are various methods of advanced notification. Utilizing such may be the difference between a favorable outcome and disaster. Both television and radio serve as excellent mediums with up-to-the-minute storm path information in the wake of a hurricane. Another method of tracking a hurricane may be only arm's length away. Your smartphone or tablet can be your most valuable tool before, during, and after a storm, providing countless numbers of apps with crucial hurricane information. Many apps allow you to track storms with moving radar and satellite imagery, plus offer alerts, current conditions, forecasts, advisories, and even video.
This hurricane preparedness tip was brought to you by your community radio station, Radio Cayman 89.9 FM.
We give you honor and praise, adoration and glory.
Radio Cayman.
Praise time.
Praise Him, praise Him. Come and let's praise the Lord. Come and let's praise the Lord. Praise Him in the morning and in the evening. Oh, let's praise the Lord.
Praise time in the morning.
Praise Him, praise Him.
Weekdays 6 to 6:30 a.m.
Radio Cayman, waking you up.
Rock my soul in the blues of my favorite. Rock my soul in the blues of my favorite.
Praise time.
I know He cares. He'll always be there. Oh, yeah. Praise Him, praise Him, praise Him.
Praise time.
Set your clock for 6 a.m. or you will miss it.
Radio Cayman, maintaining the innovation.
On a daily basis, making it easy to connect with you, our listeners. Add us to WhatsApp today, 925-3261. That's 925-3261.
Radio Cayman.
Send a text or voice note.
Message us at 925-3261 on WhatsApp today and get active with Radio Cayman.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman, maintaining the innovation.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz. I'm your host, Kathy Miller. I didn't hear my my Business Buzz intro song come, so I wasn't quite prepared for that, Susan. So I'm glad you jumped up and you did a little dance for me to pay attention. Yes, thank you. All right, so now we're coming to my question and answer segment. So I've got a question prepared for each of these ladies, and I'm trying to get through this as fast as I can. The ladies have 1 minute to answer their questions. Now I'm going to start with how I've written them. Erin, I guess you're the very first person person I'm asking. Apparently you're at the top of my mind when I was writing my questions because you're first on here. Right, that works. Contestant number one. So, Erin, contestant number one, the question I have for you, and you have 1 minute to answer. Cayman is developing too fast or Cayman is developing too slowly? What do you think and why? Look at the clock.
sorry, I was prepared for a second round of the question, but let me just go straight into it. I believe that Cayman is developing way too fast. I think there are a lot of areas that we need to make sure are already developed before we start planning for higher buildings and larger infrastructures. There's other areas of focus that require our attention, such as education, such as proper planning with our environment, with our trash. There are a lot of areas that require focus before we plan for selling Cayman to the highest bidder and developing the country further than we have right now. Thank you.
Okay, excellent. And that was about 45 seconds. So well done, Erin. I like your answer. Okay, next up I have Jeanette. You ready for me? You ready? All right. Cayman has a growing problem with firearms and brazen acts committed with firearms. How do you think the country should approach eliminating gang and gun violence?
Wow. Well, I must say that I feel our government is making great strides with that, because a couple of weeks ago they have introduced the Firearm Amendment Bill, which also included the production and distribution of ghost guns, which to me I didn't even know was on island. So I feel like our government is connected with the current issues, and they're doing the best that they can at this moment. In terms of gang violence, it's just a matter of, I believe, having a more firmer presence with the police to say, okay, this is what is the consequence of your actions. So between those two, I would say we are making great strides, but I do recognize that there is progress to be made to ensure that we are the safe community that we push to the public that we are.
Wonderful. I know that was under a minute, but I actually didn't look to see exactly what time that started. Look at me. Bad timer that That was a great answer.
You were
like a true civil servant.
with her answer.
I was. At the very beginning, you just captivated me. What can I say? I hope you weren't looking, Brianna, at my questions over there. She's like, no. All right, Reagan, you're up next. Okay, ready for me?
Yes, ma'am.
There are emerging industries within Cayman's economy in tech, IT, data science, STEM-related, and AI roles. Do you think our current education system is preparing students for these emerging industries and career paths?
I definitely think that the education systems in Cayman have stepped it up. We have been able to integrate AI, new technological advances into our curriculum. However, in saying that, there's always room for improvement. There's children that are still below the reading level, that they're getting pushed to a grade that perhaps they're not ready for. So while I can appreciate that the Cayman Islands school system is trying to include these technological advances, I think we need to take a step back and teach the basis before we can move further on.
Wonderful. That was almost 30 seconds. Well done, Ray. And I see... with you, I saw a great kind of improvement in the focus of your answer and the delivery there.
Thank you.
Yes, I can
I'm
see your
trying.
speech training. It's happening for you. Yes, yes, yes. All right, Tracy, you ready for me?
Yes.
Some might consider this a controversial question, but I don't think it is, Tracy. All right, so Miss Universe has changed their rules in 2023, no longer having an age limit, allowing married women or women with children to enter. Transgender women have been allowed to participate for a number of years. There's a lot of noise out there between what a woman is. Right? There's a whole lot of noise about that. So in your definition, what is a woman to you? What is being a woman to you?
Oh my goodness. I believe being a woman is embodying the qualities of being kind, compassionate, and caring while uplifting those around you, while also focusing on yourself and being able to use your voice to empower yourself in your beliefs and to also inspire people around you. So I think it's amazing that this Miss Universe organization has been able to expand their reach to all types of women. And it's really a platform to let us be heard. So I'm happy to welcome any woman who wants to participate in this pageant.
Okay, thank you, Tracy. Definitely under 1 minute for sure. I didn't look at the very start of the time either. Like I said, I'm a bad timer. I can't be asking the question, watching the time, listening to the answer. It's a lot. It's a lot, but beautifully said. Very beautifully said. All right, Tia, you ready?
Yes,
I know she was a little sad because I couldn't ask her a question the last round there, but I got this question for you here. Social media. Some people love it and some people despise it. Do you think social media has a positive or negative impact on teens, and why?
On teens, okay. I think that social media as a whole is a positive thing. However, I think the youth today feel a lot of peer pressure. Just speaking to my little sister and other little kids in the world, honestly, I went to Jamaica a while ago and I've heard the youth said this as well, so it's not just a Caymanian thing. I think that our youth believe that because they see something online, they have to live up to it, or even if it's not true, there could be someone who uses a filter, someone who gives a false fact or something like that. There's no government to police the social media, so I believe that it is a negative thing for teens if they're not taught to not compare themselves to things that seem unrealistic.
Okay, wonderful. I especially love the last part of your answer for sure, right? Because there's a whole lot of faking on social media that happens. So, absolutely. All right. Brianna, you ready for me?
Ready.
All right. Real estate is currently Cayman's second largest contributor to the GDP, and real estate seems to be skyrocketing in price, and ownership seems to be getting harder for Caymanians. Do you believe government should consider restrictions on foreign home ownership investments in Cayman?
Thank you for that question. I think that home ownership for Caymanians is a very sensitive and raw topic at the moment, speaking as a Caymanian who wants to purchase her first home. And I appreciate the challenges that it comes with it in terms of the costs. Whilst I think that international exposure and the fact that Cayman is so attractive to international buyers is a positive thing, I do believe that the government are thinking of and should be thinking of ways that we can push forward and promote our Caymanians so that we feel more encouraged and empowered to buy land in our own home country.
Wonderful. I love that answer too.
Thank you.
Very real, very good. Wonderful. Good job, ladies. I would say I'm so sorry that we can't watch the last YouTube and look at your answer and how that segment went compared to what you did now, but you've made tremendous strides. I'm very proud of you. Very good to have you on the Business Buzz. We got to wrap up, but I'm going to give 1 minute just to remind people of what the overall platform is for Miss Universe Cayman Islands, and also where can people buy tickets. Very important thing. Where can we get tickets for August 31st? Whoever wants to answer, go for it.
We can get them from Funky Monkey, Event Pro, online, and The Finishing Touch.
Okay, excellent. Online?
At Event Pro.
Event Pro, okay, yes. Wonderful. And the platform, who wants to touch on that?
The pageant platform is the Cayman Heart Foundation, which we are so excited to be working with. The heart and cardiovascular disease is actually Cayman's #1 killer in both men and women. And so it's incredibly important to get your heart checked and get yourself checked through the Cayman Heart Foundation.
All right. And your support of the pageant not only helps support these ladies in their incredible journey, we get to see who gets to be crowned that night, but also in supporting the awareness for all the initiatives and projects that the Cayman Heart Foundation does in our beautiful Cayman Islands. Thank you for joining me this morning. And there's not going to be time to have you back on again, but I can't wait to see what happens in the next couple of weeks with you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
The Business Buzz is proudly sponsored by Cayman Insurance Center, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services. And Kirk Market. Experience a world of choice.
We are Radio Cayman, covering Cayman Brac, Little Cayman, and Grand Cayman.
One in a